Okay, and welcome everybody. I think we're ready to get started. There's still a few people logging in. What a big group today. I thank you all for joining us. As I've said before, we do have you on mute by design. It is a big group on the line today, so we're trying to minimize that background noise. So if you have questions, please use your question icon on your toolbar, and we'll take those questions as they come in. So thanks everyone for joining us today. I wish we were meeting under different circumstances, of course. My name is Bonnie McMahon. I'm the Vice President of Sales here at Evosys in North America. And as many of you know on the line, Evosys is one of the global partner of the year for Oracle and HCM. Today's topic is for those of you who have Oracle HCM today and are going to take advantage of Oracle's offer for the health and safety module. And if you could go to the next slide, please, that would be great. You know, obviously, we're all dealing with the COVID-19 situation today, and we're trying to do our best, and we want to offer you the implementation of this health and safety module to help you and your businesses get through this situation. I also have my colleagues on the line today, and we're going to be walking through what it looks like to implement the health and safety modules to track specifically COVID-19. So again, if you have any questions or use the question icon on your toolbar. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to my colleague to get started with the presentation.
So, hi everyone, I hope I'm loud and clear. My name is Niyam. Thank you for taking out time from what we know is a really, really busy schedule these days. Just to give you a quick overview, we understand that we're dealing with an unprecedented crisis. And we understand that organizations are having to make constant decisions really, really proactively in order to protect their workforce and their employees. And employee safety at the moment is paramount. Oracle has made health and safety, that's a module that caters to these sort of issues, particularly free for 1 year. And in line with that spirit, we are also trying to do our bit to help businesses such as yours sustain and weather the storm and come out through this crisis a more resilient organization. What we are going to showcase today is our offering in terms of health and safety specifically for COVID. And what we did was, as I said, we know that time is of the essence. We know that even spending 1 hour here is taking you away from the constant firefighting that's going on everywhere. We focused on 4 problems, and these are the ones in front of you that we hope will help flatten the curve, as it were. So we understand that there is a crucial need to monitor and contain the spread. We understand that there is a need to give employees a platform to raise concerns and be part of the larger conversation, because it becomes more crucial than ever to be able to know exactly what is going on from a health and safety perspective in light of these events. We also know that it's very important that we are able to track and respond effectively to these places. HR leaders, health and safety managers, people on the front lines need to be aware of what is going on and what actions need to be taken, what are our learnings from that, and how do we keep track of everybody who might not be even in the same location. People remote, stuck in different countries, need to be helped and tracked and monitored effectively. And finally, we understand that decision making becomes paramount, and we know that real-time data and actual insights, data-driven decision making becomes very, very crucial in these days. So with that in mind, we brought together some of our best minds, some of our SMEs together, and we set out to solve this problem for you, because we know that we don't want to spend a lot of time talking about health and safety in general, but we understand that this has to be implemented quickly in order to be effective. So we've come up with a straightforward process. A lot of our design philosophy has been around simplification and effectiveness. We've primarily focused on 3 things, which is raise, address, and analyze. And that's going to be the narrative going forward as well. Even as we showcase the solution, you will see that it's basically as simple as raising an incident, which is raising a concern, raising any issues that come across. Your entire employee workforce can do this. Addressing it, which is where HR leaders, champions, health and safety managers come in, and they can address the issues and concerns that employees are raising. And finally, organization leaders can analyze them. Flows very straightforward. I'm just going to leave that slide on for a minute while I explain that. Um, there are primarily three actors here. You have an employee raising an incident, HNS managers, health and safety managers taking appropriate actions, recording what they learned from it, tracking the status, making sure that every suspected case, every incident that happens is properly monitored and nobody's lost under the radar. And finally, organization leaders who are viewing analysis at a glance, very quickly looking at a snapshot of their current employee safety and employee health statistics, and taking decisions that help protect the workforce. The key people involved, again, it's a simple process. So what we've done is the basic storyline is as simple as an employee who are also acting as incident reporters, health and safety admins or managers, the HR teams that are involved in every step of the way and who are actually in the forefront of this crisis, and organization leaders who need to take decisions. So you can see incident reporters or employees can begin by raising incidents. They can also raise incidents on behalf of others. So if they have a colleague or somebody at home even who is suspected, they can raise that and give that information, make that available. It's multi-device. So let's say there is a place where somebody was, I mean, I know we're mostly working from home these days, but for operational offices, if there is a location where you have an employee who was COVID positive, then you can even quickly take pictures and upload that. As an employee, you have the ability to report hygiene issues, health and safety issues, all of that within with your cell phone, with your mobile. And you can take a quick picture on that mobile, upload it. Health and safety managers can then take actions on that. You can also receive notifications that let you track progress as health and safety managers, who will be making sure that every single issue is tracked. So for example, if they need to take actions such as disinfecting the area, they can do that. And finally, for the leaders, there is analysis. And this is where we've spent a lot of time building custom analysis specifically for the COVID crisis, specifically keeping in mind the issues that are currently cropping up and are the need of the hour. The dashboards that we've designed and that the product gives out of the box combined gives real-time visibility, and we are going to showcase some of them so you can see a couple of the ones that are available and a couple of the ones that we've designed specifically for this. Show the percentage of incidents completed, the progress so far, the total number of incidents that we have. It can show you the confirmed cases of COVID within the employee workforce. You can track it through. So as soon as somebody's suspected, you can mark them as suspected in that incident. You can move them to confirmed if they happen to have COVID. And once they are cured, you can record that and take a sigh of relief. You have severity tracking as well, and you can see it as a metric, whether something is overdue or if action needs to be taken, which is held up somewhere. Then if it requires urgent attention, then you can see meters that will help you point you in the right direction. We have a couple of screenshots to showcase the simple flow that we've tried to design for you. So these are all, of course, samples. So what you can see in front of you is, as an employee, I could log on to my desktop or my mobile or my iPad, and I could start with reporting an incident. As I said, you could report it for yourself. Let's say you're showing symptoms. You could indicate that you're showing symptoms, and that's something that the organization needs to know. Uh, that can be tracked. If you turn positive, the organization could, for example, take an action such as letting uh, people know, people who work with you know that they might be at risk and they need to be tested, or disinfect locations, making sure that locations or areas are clean, etc. And all of those actions can again be logged into the system for monitoring constantly. You could also put in, so what we've done is you could record a lot of uh, different things using health and safety. So you could do injuries, you could do illnesses, but to make it so that it addresses this concern, we have added information around it. There's a narrative around it. So you can see, to report a COVID incident, please click continue. You could have, this is the WHO advice, but you could have instructions, narratives, those sort of things on this page. The employee can simply then follow a questionnaire-based form, which asks very simple, straightforward questions like, what is the incident? What's the level of severity? Is there an action that already was taken? What was happening right before the incident? Those sort of simple questions. Very few things are mandatory because, as I said again, we don't want employees spending time filling out unnecessary details, but we need things reported as quickly as they happen. And um, so the question is as simple as it can be. You can see another question that is asked to the employees is who is reporting it. So you could give your details. You could talk about who you are reporting it for and when exactly it happened. Once this is done, it will just send out an acknowledgement, and the health and safety managers would be alerted. And as a health and safety manager, you could go in, you could fill in more information, you could give out more details. You could say whether there is going to be lost time, for example, and you can indicate what the COVID status is. So you can see our solution specifically focuses on COVID. So we've done wherever we could, we have tried to customize it so that it addresses this specific need. And you can track them from suspected to hopefully never confirmed, but from suspected to confirmed to cured. And again, it's a simple, straightforward process. And finally, you already saw the dashboards, and those come into play as organization leaders to take actual decisions. That's a brief about the offering. Very quickly, just a couple of things that are prereqs. So because this is a cloud offering, global HR in Fusion has to be implemented. That's the assumption that we're taking for deploying this. Personalizations shouldn't be there so that they don't hinder our simplification of the processes. And compliance from local regulations becomes a customer responsibility because this is particularly tailored for COVID. It's designed in a way that we don't lose time in discussing or debating things, but address the crisis at hand. So it should not take more than a couple of days to get the whole cycle through. We have tried to make it as out of the box as we can.
Yes, let's pause here for a moment. I want to remind everyone, if you do have a question, use the question icon on your toolbar. As we've discussed, it's a fairly simple implementation designed to get you up and running quickly, so keep your organizations tracking and keeping them well during these days. So again, question icon on the toolbar if you have any questions. We'll take them as they come. Here we go, we have one. Go ahead.
Oh, we can take questions.
Here's one.
Yeah.
Okay. Question, is this integrated to learning management also? Meaning if someone reports as a yes, we can have some courses or videos assigned to it.
So the way there wouldn't be a direct integration, but the way that could work is we can discuss that. We can discuss the exact requirements around that, but we could have reports. So because there are reports available for all of this, and you would be tracking those individually, you would then be able to identify the people that need to be alerted from a learning perspective. I'm assuming you're talking of some sort of course for COVID speciality.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming as well. Now we're getting an influx here of questions. Thank you, guys. So next question, does this become an icon on the home screen?
It does. So
okay.
I'll try to see if I have a screenshot for that. I probably have not put it in. I'm sorry about that. What you will have is, as an employee screen, if you've seen me, there's a me tab, and for employees, there's a separate icon. And for health and safety managers, there's a separate area and a separate icon. But it becomes an app on your screen, yes.
Okay, perfect. Next question. Can you share the PowerPoint after the call? I also believe we have the recording as well that we'll share out to everyone on the line, for sure. And the next question, what exactly does it mean that roles should not have been personalized, as almost all the rules we use today are customized? Even employee rule, which Oracle gives, are customized during implementation.
Hi, Niyam, I can take this. Hi, everyone, this is Akash Shah. When we say personalization, what we try to eliminate is a lot of changes on the roles which are delivered out of the box, and things like adding and removing of privileges, etc. Okay, what we essentially do here is we just enable the privileges that are specific to health and safety, so that these roles are appropriately reflecting the level of access that is required for employees and HNS managers to have access to the corresponding screens and flows.
Excellent. Thanks, Akash. Which is a follow-up question from a different participant was, if the roles were personalized, do we need to add the specific privileges to them? So that sounds like a yes. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Our next question is, how does the incident reporter's report get delivered to health and safety or HR?
Okay. So there are two, when you talk about reports, there is a reporting dashboard, and they can log in along with all the other HCM reports that are available, or all the other, if you have finance, then all the reports are available in the OTBI section. And you will be able to see all of them. There's a specialized dashboard that we've created specifically addressing health and safety. And that would have the ones that you see on your screen and many more will be available through that system. Again, we can put, just as soon as you log in, it's familiar spaces. There's no separate area that we've created. It's all within the same ecosystem.
Perfect. Thank you. Just as a, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just, I was saying, depending on the exact need, we can also discuss. Some key people can have those reports delivered as well to their mailbox.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. That's helpful. As a reminder, if you do have a question, use the question icon on your toolbar. We have another question here. If an employee gets affected and any of their family member is affected, are we tracking or reporting? So it sounds to me like they're asking if this solution will track family members of an employee.
It absolutely is designed with that in mind as well. If you want to do that, so if you saw the screenshot, you can specify who is it for, and from the report, you could also say for non-employees, and you could just mention who is it for. So every incident can have people tagged to it, and those people could also be people who are not directly working for you, but are in the communities or in the families of people that do. And you could track it.
Here's perfect. Thank you. Another question that just came in, can the line managers also be part of the flow so that he or she can plan the workflow or the workload?
So well, short answer is yes, but that's something that has to be discussed separately, because in our current storyline, in order to simplify things, the line manager isn't there, but that can be customized based on your exact requirement. But that's a separate conversation that we could have on that.
Perfect. So we'll pause here for a minute. And again, use the question icon on your toolbar if you have another question. Here comes another question. Is there any licensing cost with Oracle in enabling this offering? If it is free, how long is it free for?
So I can take that.
Okay.
So if you are a HCM cloud users or a customer, Oracle is offering health and safety free of cost for 1 year, or if the COVID situation goes beyond 1 year, then until the situation is solved. I hope that does not happen. But yeah, to manage the COVID situation, the health and safety subscription is free of cost from Oracle.
Perfect. Thank you, Snehal. One more question just came in. Does this tool track people in quarantine without being sick?
So again, it can. You could create an incident and give out that detail in the notes that this person is not really sick, but they're in maybe home quarantine or mandatory quarantine. You could put that out there. The intention is, so you would mark them as possibly COVID suspected, for example, and you could have them on the record and track them. Monitor.
Thank you. Next question. How many of our existing COVID-19 communications can we add into this app? I think that might warrant a follow-up. We will have to,
yeah, I can take that. So Snehal, again, technically speaking, there is a provision where we should be able to migrate some of the data as a placeholder. But what I would encourage is, at the end of the presentation, we will share our contact details. Please reach out to us. We'll arrange a call immediately with you. We want to have some specific questions, and then we should be able to help you there as well.
Excellent, thank you. There's a client had a concern. This is the next question. A client had a concern saying, what happens after that 1 year? Will Oracle charge us for the next year? And if not, how do we save our data and learning?
We will respond to this as follow-up, Bonnie, if that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. We'll reach back out. I would encourage everyone, if you do have specific questions, to Snehal's earlier point, we have some contact information we're going to put up on the screen and have you reach out directly for further conversations. Here's another one, is on the prompts, like what is the incident? Is this a free text, or can we use a predefined list of values? So yeah, that list, is that predefined, or is that free text that they can change?
Liam, can you take that, please?
Sorry, I was speaking on mute. Apologize. So this is actually a list of values that we can customize. In fact, we have. So the nature, I'm assuming you're talking of this value, has dozens of values available. We've tried to simplify it by sort of silencing the noise. But yeah, there is a possibility to have a drop-down value list here. And you could put in the notes if there's something more you need. So you could select something like other and put in the notes and give out more details. But again, that's something that's specific to individual customers. So we could talk more about that, on a one-on-one. In general, we have these 3 values that we've put up specifically for COVID.
Perfect, thank you. Next question. What about if you are on an on-premise, customer?
I can answer that.
Yeah, okay.
So the Oracle HCM Cloud Core HR is a prerequisite to enable this. So that's something which you may want to note.
Okay, thank you. So we'll pause. Let me remind everyone, questions, if you do have a question, use the question icon on your toolbar. And we'll go from there. I'm not seeing a lot more questions coming in. What I would encourage everyone on the line to note is that we can get this up and running for you within a matter of days. We'd like you to reach out to us if you are interested. This again is a no-cost solution to you. And we just got another question. No-cost solution to you that we're trying to come together as a community here and help the Oracle Cloud customer family. Next question, guys. What type of customizations would prohibit this app from being utilized?
So that's a good technical question. For example,
I can take that, Nilesh.
Yeah. Okay.
Niyam, I can take that question. So, when we talk about customizations, it's primarily anything that restricts employees to be able to go in and log in through self-service, or the HR administrators to do the same. So these are the kind of customizations which would prevent. Otherwise, there's nothing that you might have done for other screens or other functions would affect here. So only until and unless you do not have set out privileges for self-service or HR administration, only then that would get affected. Otherwise, this does not affect anything.
Thank you, Akash. Thank you. That is at the end of our questions for right now. Let's go up to the contact screen so we can display our contact information. So let's say we'd like to reach out. We have a person dedicated to these inquiries. Her name is Audrey. You can reach out to her at audreyp@evosysglobal.com. We're ready to get started immediately to help you get the solution implemented. And Snehal or anybody have anything else they'd like to close up with?
I'm good, Bonnie. Thank you so much.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you all for attending today. I hope you found this useful. We look forward to hearing from you. And everyone stay well out there. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.